Even more dead dolphins turning up today along Suncoast beaches. How many have now been found dead in just the last 2 days?
Plus, we'll show you how Mote Marine tracks when and where the red tide is the worst throughout our state.
And investigators looking for a killer tonight in Manatee County, where the victim's body was found. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 6.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us.
Topping our news tonight, 9 dead dolphins in just 2 days. 3 of them found today, one on Siesta Key, another on North Casey Key, and then a third on Turtle Beach. Mote Marine staff are now working to find the cause, but the death count keeps rising. We spoke to experts about their plans.
Also tonight in our team coverage of red tide, we'll show you exactly how Mote Marine Lab and the Department of Health test the waters. They do it almost every single day. Now we'll hear from those scientists in just a moment, but first we want to show you exactly what they found today.
ABC 7's Rebecca Fernandez joins us now live at Mote Marine Lab in Sarasota with just how often the reports are coming in. Rebecca?
Scott, Jacqueline, well, we first saw it with the fish and the sea turtles, and now we're seeing it with the dolphins. The death count keeps on rising. I'm going to show you some images from when officials pulled those 3 dolphins out of the water today, but a warning to our viewers, it is a bit graphic. We were with the Venice Marine Patrol and FWC, and we got to see firsthand what they've been dealing with these last couple of days. Not only finding these dolphins, but having to see the horrible conditions they're in because of how the toxic algae killed them. They were all left very decomposed. And the reports of these dead dolphins were coming in at an alarming rate. In the span of 2 hours, they got 2 separate calls of dead dolphins that washed ashore. They helped recover them and transport the animals to Mote Marine for testing. I spoke to those scientists, and they say the reason we're seeing a burst in dolphin deaths is because of the food chain, and they are now not only swimming in polluted waters, but eating fish and other animals that have also been exposed to it for a long period of time. And Mote Marine also told us that they do not see an end anytime near, so they will be bringing in extra scientists from all around the state for help. Live in Sarasota, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC 7, your Suncoast News. Back to you guys.
Rebecca, thank you. Now, one of our viewers sent us these pictures of some dead fish at Paradise Bay Estates in Bradenton. That's just off of Cortez Road West. You can see hundreds of fish there creeping up onto the dock and even more reaching the shore, likely victims of red tide. Now, we know red tide is still very present in our waters, but today we got a deeper look inside the algae wreaking havoc on our beaches.
Every Monday, the coastline is tested by Mote Marine and Florida Department of Health to determine the red tide concentration. ABC 7's Taylor Torregano is live at Mote Marine with what they're looking for in these samples and if the issue is getting any better. Taylor?
Good evening, Jacqueline and Scott. In addition to those weekly samples of the coastline, Mote Marine scientists also hop in a boat and leave from this dock every weekday to gather additional samples of red tide for their own studies. Today, before they took off, I asked them what they're looking for and how.
Our coast is looking pretty red right now, and it's one of the longer lasting blooms of red tide we've had.
In fact, Mote says it's one of, if not the longest lasting bloom since the hard bloom in 2005 to 2006.
It's a pretty unusual occurrence. Not the first time, but pretty unusual, and it is definitely dragging out here.
Scientists are doing all they can to find ways to track and mitigate the effects of Karenia brevis, or red tide.
That's what this all ties to, is gathering that information that can help us with tracking and detection, but also with prediction and forecasting.
As he walked to board the boat, scientist Vince Loveco explained that they monitor Karenia brevis through remote sensing. It absorbs and reflects light wavelengths like our eyes do when we see color.
The kind of wavelengths that bounce back out of the water and that we can pick up with these remote sensing sensors, that can tell us what's in the water. Whether it's things that are backscattering in a way that lets us know it's non-living particles, or in a way that lets us know that it's living particles.
The living particles are red tide. From this boat ramp yesterday, scientists gathered 32,000 cell counts of red tide per milliliter of water. According to this chart, that's 32 times the amount that's already considered a high level.
That's because when it gets pushed into the bay and it gets pushed into those little sub-embayments, and it just kind of sits there, and the currents just kind of push it and aggregate it.
Which is why if you've driven down John Ringling Boulevard in Longboat Key this week, you've likely been accompanied with the smell of these. count of red tide came from Casperson Beach and North Lido Beach. Both had cell counts 6 times the amount that's already considered high levels of red tide. I'm reporting live from the boat ramp at Mote Marine Laboratory. Taylor Torregano, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Taylor, thank you. And ABC 7 has extensively covered this outbreak. You can find all of our red tide stories in a special section on our website, mysuncoast.com/red tide.
Well, let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert forecast during the 6 o'clock hour. Bob.
And the red tide has spread, as we saw yesterday, all the way up into Pinellas County now, where they are getting some low concentrations to very low concentrations and high concentrations all the way through Manatee and Sarasota counties down into Charlotte. 40 samples have been showing up in Sarasota County, background to high concentrations. They do check also offshore as well. Those are at this point non-existent well offshore, but still a problem nonetheless. And with this wind, we continue to see high heat indices around 100 to 105 degrees right now. That's what it feels like up and down west central Florida. And with a west wind, we'll have isolated coastal showers up in the upcoming mornings, especially on Sunday morning. And then mainly storms developing in the afternoon, interior portions of our viewing area and pushing off toward the west. As far as those winds go right now, we are seeing them out of the west at Anna Maria, Longboat Key, Siesta Key, even into Lakewood Ranch now, anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour. And then in Sarasota County, South County, Warm Mineral Springs, pretty much the same story there, up to 12. A little bit stronger at Minnesota Beach, but not bad. But that west wind continues. It looks like all the way through, as I said, over the upcoming days. Well, more in the forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Bob, thank you. Manatee County Sheriff's deputies now investigating a Bradenton man's murder. His body was found on the side of Bishop Harbor Road in Palmetto. Investigators identifying the victim as 33-year-old Christopher Boston. A driver noticed his legs in the grass and then called for help.
Investigators say Boston had injuries that show he was murdered. ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo is live on the scene with more details. Dwayne.
Well, that's right, Jacqueline Scott. Investigators say he was found in the wooded area right behind me, just walking distance from area homes.
It's crazy that it's happening right around the corner from my house.
Palmetto resident April Stoops is in shock that a dead body was found just walking distance from her home. The victim, identified as Christopher Allen Boston. Deputies responded to the scene and saw that Boston appeared to have trauma and are treating this case as a homicide. This morning, detectives went through the scene to do a final comb through. But for Stoops, she's seen suspicious activity going on along this wooded area.
I got 2 kids, and I don't even really come outside too much because, you know, it's just a little bit crazy out here sometimes. So
the whole scene a bit concerning for Jake Lipinski, who has an uncle, grandparents, and other family members living in the area.
And just across the road of where that was, that's where my great-grandparents grew up. So it's like at those trailers right there. So it's like real scary. It's in this area where they're living.
Stoops now saying she'll be cautious more than before.
I ride the bus, which is right down the road, right at the corner, as a matter of fact. And so it makes me a little nervous, on edge a little bit. Got to keep my eyes open, watch my back a little bit more, stay away from anything that looks suspicious to me.
Now, deputies say the cause of death won't be released at this time, and no details on when they will be released. Reporting live in Palmetto, Dwayne Lindo, your Suncoast News.
Dwayne, thank you. 4 teenagers are arrested today, and Sarasota police say they may be responsible for multiple vehicle burglaries. 18-year-olds Orlando Dulafew and Russell James, 2 minors as well, were arrested early this morning. Police say one person in the group was armed with a gun and tried to rob a man who was riding a bike. Police say later pulled over the suspect's vehicle, where they found stolen items that may have been taken from vehicles near Cornelius Circle. They're now asking any recent burglary victims to contact them.
Well, it looks highly unlikely that Florida legislators will hold a special session on the state's controversial Stand Your Ground law. In order to have a special session, there needs to be 3/5 support in each of the chambers. So far, 44 House members have voted against the session, while 25 are in favor. In the Senate, 11 are opposed and 12 are in favor. The request to revisit the self-defense law comes in response to the death of Marquise McLaughlin. He was shot in the parking lot of a Clearwater convenience store last month. No charges have been filed against the shooter. Some Democrats say they're disappointed by the polling results.
Law enforcement doesn't like it. You know, victims groups don't like it. Prosecutors don't like it. It's the only people that like it are the ones that have offices in this Capitol building.
Legislators have until noon this Friday to respond to that polling.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, a doctor explains the importance of vaccinating your kids before school starts.
And why All Faiths Food Bank says they needed this new bus before school starts next week.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Judy here, I think hospice was a tremendous source of support for her.
Absolutely. With Jennifer and Kimberly and Liza's constant contact with us, coming in, just knowing that there was someone with knowledge there to back us up, to answer our questions, it made a world of difference.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
So, how many of us feel completely confident about our financial future? Let's hear some specifics. Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to be a burden to my kids. When my husband died, it took almost all of our savings to give him a proper funeral. I honestly don't know if there's enough to bury me, let alone cover expenses should something happen.
Okay. Let's talk solutions. One thing you may want to get in place is a guaranteed whole life insurance policy from United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, which is a Mutual of Omaha company. This is affordable coverage, which provides a cash payment which can cover funeral expenses, bills, and other financial needs. Most payments are on their way within 24 hours. Yes, sir.
I need medical exams, things like that.
No medical exams. If you're between the ages of 45 and 85, you can call this number or you can go online and apply for coverage up to $25,000. United of Omaha Guaranteed Whole Life Insurance. Call or go online now.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Well, the start of a new school year usually involves a lot of running around, making sure your child has everything they need to succeed.
That's right, but one of the major items on the checklist doesn't go in a book bag. It's vaccinations. Vaccines are important for preventing disease in people of all ages, but especially for school-age children. Children typically receive 2 shots that protect against 8 diseases between the ages of 4 and 6. They get them again around age 11 or 12, and once more between the ages of 16 and 18. The complete vaccine schedule is designed to protect kids from 16 potentially harmful diseases.
We are decreasing tremendously the transmission of these conditions that at some point can be lethal.
If parents aren't sure whether their child is up to date on vaccinations or if a child has missed shots, doctors recommend talking to their pediatrician about getting back on track.
Sarasota County schools have a new plan in place to avoid any food waste. District officials say they do a few different things to make sure food isn't being wasted in the cafeteria. One, making sure there are plenty of options for kids so there's something they can enjoy to eat. School officials say they have limited funding and they can't afford to be wasteful with their food. I still remember fish sticks from elementary school. In the cafeteria, they were delicious.
Yeah, I remember pizza burgers, man. Those were the best. I love those.
The square pizzas. They were always squared and didn't have much sense, but yeah.
We are looking at a pretty decent forecast. It looks like not a lot of rain, not a lot of thunderstorms in the forecast, so things looking good. I just got off the internet, social media with a guy who's been boating all day long with his friends down in Charlotte Harbor, and he said they didn't really have any impacts of red tide down there, which is surprising. So they said they saw a few fish floating around, but again, that's why we were saying it's patchy. It can be real heavy in some areas and then maybe not as much in others, and that's what we're seeing right now. And hopefully it's thinning out. That's how I would be hopeful for that. We are looking at the Casey Key webcam right here and showing that brownish color of the water. You see it kind of greenish brown right there, not the nice blue color that we see most of the time. And the waves are coming in from the west, not very big, not very strong waves, so we're not seeing that red tide become airborne as much as that could happen if we had stronger west winds. High pressure, though, is the culprit. It's slipped down to the south now. Typically, it's right off the Carolina coast, brings us that nice easterly wind, brings us those storms in the late afternoon and evening, moving into the Gulf, and it cools us down. But that's not going to be the case now. We're going to have very warm and muggy nights, looks like, as a result of this not budging much as a trough of low pressure kind of develops in the eastern third of the nation, or at least drops down from the Great Lakes. There are the storms. They're moving off to the east now. Not much going on here. Pretty quiet, and it will stay that way, too, it looks like. One or two lone showers not out of the question late tonight and during the early morning hours. You can see some heavier weather along the east coast, opposite of what we normally see here. That's usually on the west coast. There have been some storms around and even some outflow boundaries trying to generate some storms and at least make it back to the coast, but not having much success. You can see that there's one right there. That one kind of created those cells that you see, but it tries to make it off into our direction, but it's being held up by that west wind, so I don't anticipate much going on here near the coast. Again, some showers and storms into Highlands County. I love this city name, Hen Scratch. Highlands Park Estates getting ready for some pretty heavy rainfall right there. The live sweep of the radar showing some showers well offshore. Not much going on here along the immediate west coast, and should stay that way, as I said, throughout much of this evening. Evening planner looks good. It will be warm, though. Temperature at 11 o'clock will be 82, but it'll feel like more like 92, I believe, if you factor in that higher humidity. Well, the Futurecast showing a lot of shower activity into central Florida tonight. Notice tomorrow morning, 10:30, mainly north of us, but we could still see a few showers here, I think, popping up. The models may not be picking up on that. But this is at 2:30 with all of it well east of I-75. Rain chances tomorrow pretty low, and it'll stay low on Saturday as this high pressure is pretty close to us, and the moisture content isn't all there yet. Saturday morning, still a few coastal showers are possible, with the heavier storms well east of our particular area. Sunday, I think a better chance for more showers in the morning, but they'll be scattered about. 81 right now in Jacksonville, 78 in Orlando. It's cooled there with some heavy rainfall. Temperature still very warm up and down the coast now into the mid to upper 80s there. Current conditions, it's 89, but this is the number that is uncomfortable at 102 right now, and west winds are at 12. The high today and low are right at the averages, 96 the record. Nationally, this storm system has really gotten rid of that high pressure system for us, and much cooler weather for the Great Lakes and Northeast. Out west, that high heat advisory continues into Idaho, Washington, Oregon, all the way down into Southern California. Temperatures are much cooler than they have been over the Northeast. New York, 89. I know that's not too cool, but they've been into the mid-90s there with the heat indices up near 100, 95 in Billings, and it's hot out west, 99 in Phoenix, but 107 in Las Vegas. Well, for boaters tomorrow, not bad out there. Seas will be running less than 2 feet. And pretty smooth conditions out on the waters. A 7-day forecast then. A slight chance for a few coastal showers in the morning, both Friday and Saturday. Better chances of that happening on Sunday and Monday, with the main focus of heavy weather later in the afternoon inland, away from the beaches. High temperatures right around 90 degrees. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. The All Faiths Food Bank has a new tool to fight hunger here on the Suncoast. Earlier this week, we gave you a preview of the All Faiths Food Bus. This new truck will be used to pick up and deliver fresh and frozen foods to neighbors in need throughout Sarasota and DeSoto counties, and those first deliveries began today.
Then here in Florida, it's so warm, as you know, today. We need the refrigerated trucks because we deliver a lot of produce, meat, vegetables, dairy that have to remain refrigerated.
Well, ABC7 is partnering with All Faiths Food Bank and the Food Bank of Manatee County to help families in need here on the Suncoast. If you want to learn more about our initiative, just go to our website, mysuncoast.com.
The American course at Bobby Jones Golf Club in Sarasota will close for several months. Crews will be improving the course's drainage system because it typically floods after heavy rain. The course will be closed from August 13th to December 1st. City Commission approved limited capital improvements to the course last month to help keep Bobby Jones open to the public and playable, while a master plan for the course is finalized for the future. Stay with us.
When we come back, we'll show you the innovative way downtown Sarasota is helping visitors get around.
Tonight, the president's legal team tells Mueller to wrap it up. And after their counteroffer about the questions the president can answer, what's the special counsel's next move? ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
I heard about the Dotole Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotole Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotole Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks, destroying CPAP germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
The Players Center invites you to explore the family dynamic in the classic story of On Golden Pond. The Tony Award-winning play opening August 9th is funny, thoughtful, and brutally honest. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. On Golden Pond is calling you.
It's hard to see when you're outside at night. It's time for the Atomic Beam Sunblast, the new solar-powered light that's super bright. Atomic Beam Sunblast lets you add a light anywhere, and the atomic solar panels charge the built-in lithium-ion battery quickly. Then the 180-degree motion sensor turns on the light when you get near and automatically turns off when you disappear. Look, here's a best-selling outdoor solar light. And here's the Super Bright Atomic Beam Sunblast. Get the Super Bright Atomic Beam Sunblast for only $19.99. But wait, call right now and you can double your order and get a second Sunblast, plus our best-selling Atomic Beam Flashlight. Just pay a separate fee. That's 2 Atomic Beam Sunblasts and the Atomic Beam Flashlight. Call now.
Call 1-800-431-6640. That's 1-800-431-6640. Or visit mysunblast.com. So call 1-800-431-6640. Order now.
Summer break is over. It's time to go back to school. Starting at 5 a.m., Good Morning Suncoast is bringing you live reports to help you get your kids ready for class. Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, your source for back-to-school coverage.
Downtown Sarasota now has a new wayfinding kiosk. That kiosk will allow users to view videos, pull up interactive maps of restaurants and businesses, take a selfie, access the city's website, and much more. The kiosk is downtown at the northwest corner of North Lemon Avenue and Main Street. Now here's how it works.
So these are digital smart kiosks. What they do is they can provide internet in certain areas. They're also a directory that's kind of hyper-local so that you can see what type of store is around, see what type of restaurants are around. It's also a great way for business promotion. Whenever there's deals and things going on, you could come right up to here, click on it, maybe a deal is offered, and you can send that right to your phone.
Well, users can also enter their feedback directly at that kiosk. The city is evaluating the digital kiosks as part of its existing wayfinding project and may permanently install them at this and other locations in the area.
I like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
I like the selfie idea. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, so it's got so many new stores and new things happening downtown. It's
sometimes it can be confusing.
Yeah,
There's
you
a
got to
lot.
find out. You got to find out where you are. I know I've had a hard time down there. There's a lot of new stuff going on. No showers if you're going downtown Sarasota for the most part. Things staying quiet here this evening.
All right, Bob, thank you so much. World News Tonight with David Muir is next.
We'll see you again at 7 and 11.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now.
Florida's coral reefs are declining. Bad news for our oceans and marine life. Fortunately, you can help, and you don't have to dive, you just have to drive. When you purchase Moat's Protect Our Reefs license plate, $25 goes directly to Moat Marine Laboratory, whose research, restoration, and conservation programs are helping this precious natural resource thrive once again. So get your Moat Protect Our Reefs license plate today. You just might hold the key to saving Florida's reefs.
Being empowered starts with getting informed, looking closer. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. But many of us don't know there are different types of breast cancer with different characteristics. That was me. Learning about the specifics of my diagnosis gave me the confidence to make informed treatment decisions with my doctor. This meant everything to me and my family. So take another look. Ask another question. Learn more at notonetype.org.
Addiction is a dark place. But just as each new day breaks, there is light. A light that illuminates the people by your side. Out of the darkness, you are walking with 22 million others struggling with addiction. The cure to darkness is light. The cure to stigma is love. And the cure to disease is treatment. Join us. as we walk into the dawn of the new day. Together, we are stronger than addiction. Learn more at chatterproof.org.